Y'all, I don't even know where to start with this one. I'm sitting here and I had to report this immediately because what is happening in Hollywood right now is absolutely unhinged. We're talking Beyoncé, Brandy, Jay-Z, Solange, Diddy, 50 Cent, all of them caught up in what might be the most explosive celebrity meltdown we've seen in years. And I'm not talking about some little Twitter beef, loves. I'm talking about decade-long betrayals, backstage confrontations caught on camera, mysterious, threatening flower bouquets, yes, you heard that right, and a resurrected scandal from the Met Gala that just got confirmed by an actual eyewitness. The internet is literally on fire right now, and honestly, I don't think anyone's ready for what's about to come out. Okay, before we dive into this mess, and trust me, it's a mess, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe because this tea is scalding and the algorithm needs to push this to everyone. We're about to unpack something that connects 4 different scandals into one massive conspiracy web, and you're not going to want to miss a single second. Here's what I'm about to prove to you over the next 30-something minutes. What looked like separate celebrity moments this week, Beyoncé and Brandy's alleged backstage tension, the resurrected Jay-Z elevator incident, and Diddy's bizarre flower threat to 50 Cent are not isolated incidents. They're all connected to a silent war that's been brewing in the entertainment industry for over a decade. And the cracks? They're finally starting to show. Now, I already know there's going to be people in the comments saying, "Oh, you're reaching," or "This is just clickbait." And to those people, I say, stay tuned, because what I'm about to lay out for you is backed by footage, eyewitness accounts, social media evidence, and industry whispers that have been floating around for years. If you're someone who actually wants the truth, who's tired of these sanitized PR statements and fake Hollywood friendships, then you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button one more time to support this channel, because the industry does not want this conversation happening. But we're gonna have it anyway. All right, so let's set the stage. Over the past 10 days, the internet has been in absolute chaos. It started, innocently enough, Monica and Brandy's joint tour, right? 2 R&B legends celebrating their legacy, giving the fans what they want. Beautiful. But then, dramatic pause, Beyoncé shows up multiple times, allegedly, and what should have been a heartwarming moment of Black excellence supporting Black excellence turned into one of the most dissected, analyzed, and frankly, weird celebrity interactions of the year. Fans started noticing that Beyoncé and Brandy seemed to be avoiding each other. There's this clip that went viral, and I mean viral, millions of views in hours, where Beyoncé is backstage and she literally steps aside. No eye contact, no greeting, nothing. And Brandy, she keeps it moving like B isn't even there. Now, at first, people were like, okay, maybe it's just an awkward moment. Celebrities are human. But then, Ray J, yes, Brandy's brother, gets on social media and says Beyoncé came to multiple shows but never once greeted Brandy. And that's when the internet lost its mind. Okay, I can hear some of y'all already. Maybe Beyoncé was just being respectful. Maybe she didn't want to cause a scene. And listen, I hear you. That's a fair point. Beyoncé is notoriously private. She doesn't do big public displays unless it's planned and choreographed to perfection. But, and this is a big but, when you look at how Beyoncé normally operates, she's strategic. Every move is calculated. Every appearance has a purpose. So for her to show up to a colleague's tour multiple times and not even acknowledge them backstage, that's not protocol. That's not etiquette. That's something else. Anywho, we'll come back to that because trust me, the Beyoncé Brandy thing is just the beginning. So let's break down exactly what allegedly happened because the details matter here, loves. According to multiple fan accounts and Ray J's own words, Beyoncé attended at least 2 shows on the Monica and Brandy tour. Now, reports say she was allegedly there to support Monica specifically. They have history, they're cool. But here's the thing, you can't show up to a joint tour and only acknowledge one of the headliners. That's a choice. And then we get the clip, the one that broke the internet. Beyoncé's backstage, looking absolutely stunning as always, and you can see Brandy in the background. The two of them are in the same space, but there's this energy, like an invisible wall between them. Beyoncé steps to the side, gracefully, I'll give her that, and Brandy walks past without so much as a glance. Now, body language experts started analyzing this thing frame by frame, and what they noticed was that both women seemed hyper-aware of each other's presence. This wasn't a casual, oops, didn't see you moment. This was deliberate distance. Beyoncé's body language, turned slightly away, chin up, moving with purpose, but clearly creating space. Brandy's body language, eyes forward, no acknowledgement, walking with intention. Yikes. Like, the tension, y'all. And here's what makes this even more suspicious. Monica, who's known for being real and unfiltered, literally snatched Ray J's phone when he was going off about this online during the tour. She grabbed his phone, loves, and fans immediately started asking, what was Ray J about to say that Monica needed to stop him? Now, at this point, the Beyoncé Brandy thing could have maybe been written off as just awkward celebrity dynamics, right? Like maybe there's no real beef, maybe it's just weird vibes. But then the universe said, you know what? Let's bring back an 11-year-old scandal and blow this thing wide open. I'm talking about the Met Gala elevator incident, the one with Solange, Jay-Z, and Beyoncé, the one that literally defined celebrity conspiracy theories for a decade. And a fashion designer who was there just came forward with new information that changes everything we thought we knew. Okay, so for anyone who somehow doesn't know, back in 2014 at the Met Gala after party, surveillance footage leaked showing Solange Knowles, Beyoncé's sister, physically attacking Jay-Z in an elevator, while Beyoncé stood there eerily calm, not intervening. It was one of the most shocking celebrity moments of the 2010s. Like, we'd never seen anything like it. At the time, the family released a statement saying it was a private family matter, everyone had apologized, and they'd moved forward as a united family. And that was it. The vault was sealed. No one talked. No explanations. Just that iconic image of Solange's leg flying at Jay-Z, while Beyoncé stood there like a statue. But now, literally this week, a celebrity fashion designer who was allegedly at that party has come forward saying the rumors we'd been hearing for years were true. According to this designer, the attack happened because Jay-Z made a comment, allegedly a compliment, to Rachel Roy at the party, and Solange saw it and absolutely lost it. Now, if you remember, Rachel Roy got dragged into the Becky with the good hair conspiracy after Beyoncé's Lemonade dropped in 2016. People were convinced she was the other woman Jay-Z had allegedly been involved with. Rachel denied it, the internet didn't believe her, and it became this whole thing. But what this designer is now saying is that the elevator incident wasn't about an affair, it was about disrespect. It was about Jay-Z allegedly paying attention to another woman at a family event with Beyoncé right there, and Solange snapping because she'd had enough of watching her sister be disrespected. Designer's alleged account? Solange wasn't out of control. She was defending her sister. Jay said something to Rachel, something complimentary, and Solange saw it as crossing a line. That's what triggered everything. Y'all, the implications! So let's talk about what we can actually see in that elevator footage, because when you watch it with this new context, it hits different. First of all, Beyoncé's reaction, or lack thereof, always seemed strange to people. Like, your sister is physically attacking your husband and you're just standing there? Some people said it proved she knew Jay was in the wrong. Some said she was in shock. But with this new information, it seems like Beyoncé was letting Solange handle it. Like, you know what? Get him. I'm not stopping you. Secondly, the bodyguard in the elevator, shout out to that man for staying professional, he only intervenes to protect Jay-Z, not to break up the fight entirely. He's literally just making sure Solange doesn't actually hurt him, but he's not rushing to end it completely, which again suggests that what was happening was understood, like there was a reason for it. And third, this is the part that gets me. After the elevator doors open, Beyoncé walks out with Solange, not with Jay-Z. She chose her sister. Jay-Z is walking separately, looking rattled, and the two women are together. That's not just optics, loves. That's a statement. Now, if your head is already spinning from the Beyoncé, Brandy, Jay-Z, Solange web, buckle up, because we're about to add Diddy and 50 Cent into this mix, and it gets dark. We're talking alleged threats, legal letters, documentary warfare, and what the internet is calling the most menacing flower delivery in celebrity history. I wish I was joking. All right, so here's what went down. 50 Cent, who, let's be real, has made a career out of trolling people online, has been working on a documentary called Diddy Do It that allegedly exposes some serious allegations against Diddy. We're talking claims about abuse, manipulation, industry control, all kinds of heavy stuff. Now, 50's been promoting this thing relentlessly on social media because that's what 50 does. He's the king of petty. But allegedly, Diddy was not having it. Reports started circulating that Diddy's legal team sent a cease-and-desist letter to Netflix trying to block the documentary from being released. Now, cease-and-desists are common in the industry when people feel they're being defamed, so on its own, that's not wild. But then, and this is where it gets absolutely bonkers, 50 Cent was allegedly at a club in Miami, and someone sent him a bouquet of flowers. Now, you might be thinking, okay, flowers, so what? But according to 50 Cent and fans online, this wasn't a friendly gesture. This was allegedly a message, a warning, a "we know where you are" type of move. 50 immediately posted about it on Instagram, because of course he did, calling it out as a threat. And the internet exploded. People started saying things like, that's the mob movie energy. Sending flowers is literally what people do before something goes down. This is not a joke anymore. Now, to be clear, we don't know for sure who sent the flowers. 50 implied it was connected to Diddy or his camp, but there's no confirmed evidence. It could have been a fan, a troll, someone trying to stir drama. We don't know. But what we do know is that 50 Cent felt threatened enough to make it public. And when you're dealing with someone like 50, who's been shot 9 times, who has survived actual street violence, for him to call something out as a threat, pause, that means something. So let's talk about what's allegedly in this documentary that would make someone send cease and desist and, according to the internet, threatening flower arrangements. From what's been reported online and through various entertainment outlets, the documentary allegedly includes testimonies from multiple alleged victims describing abusive behavior, industry insiders talking about how power and control operate behind the scenes, financial records potentially showing questionable business practices, video evidence and audio recordings that allegedly back up the claims. Now,
None of this has been proven in court. These are allegations. But the fact that this documentary is reportedly being taken seriously by a platform like Netflix, that's significant. Netflix doesn't play around with legal liability. If they're moving forward, they likely believe they have something solid. And here's the thing that connects this back to everything else we've been talking about. This is about power. It's about who controls the narrative. It's about what happens when people finally start speaking up about things that have allegedly been going on for years. Just like the Beyoncé Brandy tension might be rooted in old industry dynamics we don't fully understand. Just like the Jay-Z elevator incident was allegedly about disrespect that had been building. Just like the Diddy 50 Cent situation is allegedly about explosive truths trying to come to light. It's all connected, loves. It's all about the same thing. What happens when the facade cracks? Now, as you can imagine, the internet has had a field day with all of this. And honestly, the reactions have been all over the place. On the Beyoncé Brandy situation, some fans are saying, y'all are reading way too much into a 3-second clip. They probably just didn't see each other. But others are pointing out, Beyoncé doesn't do anything by accident. If there was distance, it was intentional. And then there's a third group saying, maybe Brandy doesn't want to be associated with Beyoncé right now. Maybe she's the one keeping her distance. On the elevator incident revelation, people are split. Some are saying, finally, we have confirmation. I knew Solange was protecting her sister. While others are saying, this is just another person trying to get attention by bringing up old drama. Where's the proof? On the Diddy 50 Cent situation, this one's probably the most divided. Some fans are saying 50 is just trolling for publicity. Those flowers were probably from a fan. But a lot of people are expressing genuine concern. This doesn't feel like a joke anymore. If 50 is actually being threatened, that's serious. The industry has a history of silencing people. This could be dangerous. And honestly, I'm in that second camp. Because even if the flowers were just a weird coincidence, the fact that we're at a point where it's believable that someone would send a threatening bouquet, that tells you something about how the industry operates. Now, we can't talk about the Beyoncé Brandy situation without diving deeper into what Ray J said, and more importantly, what Monica stopped him from saying. Ray J went on social media, I believe it was Instagram Live, during the tour and was clearly heated. He was talking about how Beyoncé allegedly came to multiple shows, how there was no greeting, how it was disrespectful to Brandy. He was really getting into it. And then Monica, who, again, is one of the tour headliners, physically grabs his phone and cuts off the live. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and look at the pattern here, because this is where everything comes together. In the Beyoncé Brandy situation, silence. No public statements, no explanations, just a viral moment and speculation. In the elevator incident, silence for 11 years. One PR statement, then nothing, until now. In the Diddy 50 Cent situation, legal threats, attempts to stop information from coming out, and then an alleged physical message, flowers, that screams, "Don't talk." You see the theme? Control, narrative control, keeping things quiet. And this is how the entertainment industry has operated for decades, loves. There's this unspoken rule that you don't air dirty laundry publicly. You handle things internally. You protect the brand, the image, the money. But what happens when people start breaking that rule? What happens when Ray J gets on Instagram Live? When fashion designers come forward with eyewitness accounts? When 50 Cent refuses to be silenced about a documentary? The whole system starts to shake. All right, so here's the concept I want you to walk away with, and I want you to really sit with this for a second. Hollywood's elevator moments. Stay with me here. The elevator incident with Solange and Jay-Z became iconic because it was a rare glimpse behind the curtain. For once, we saw the real emotions, the real conflict, the real family dynamics that usually stay hidden. It was an elevator, a private space that became public. And what we're seeing right now with all of these situations is the same thing. Private tensions becoming public moments. Beyoncé and Brandy's backstage dynamic? That should have stayed backstage, but cameras were rolling. Ray J's Instagram rant? That should have stayed in family group chats, but he went live. The fashion designer's account? That should have stayed industry gossip, but they gave an interview. Diddy's alleged flower message? That should have stayed private intimidation, but 50 posted it. The elevators are opening, loves, and we're all watching what spills out. So why does all of this matter beyond just celebrity gossip? Because I know some people are like, okay, cool story, but who cares? These are rich, famous people having drama. And I hear that. But here's why this is actually important. First, these situations reveal power dynamics in the entertainment industry that affect everyone in that space. If people can allegedly be threatened for making documentaries, what does that mean for freedom of speech, for accountability? Second, the way these celebrities handle or don't handle public scrutiny sets the tone for their fan bases. When we see silence, avoidance, or alleged intimidation, it tells us something about how conflict is managed at the highest levels. Third, this is about legacy. Beyoncé, Jay-Z, Diddy, Brandy, these are legends. Their behavior, their choices, their alleged feuds, all of it becomes part of music history, Black entertainment history, cultural history. And fourth, for regular people watching, this is a reminder that even at the top, even with all the money and fame and power, people are still human, still messy, still dealing with jealousy, disrespect, betrayal, protection, pride. Just remember, behind every carefully curated Instagram post, every red carpet smile, every "we're all good" statement, there's real people with real emotions, dealing with real conflict. And sometimes that conflict explodes in an elevator, or backstage at a concert, or through a bouquet of flowers that feels more like a threat. Now, let's talk about how this system of silence is maintained, because it's not just about the celebrities themselves. There's an entire machine that works to keep things quiet. First, you have the PR teams. These people are masters at crisis management. The moment something threatens to go public, they're crafting statements, making calls, negotiating with outlets. Remember how fast that private family matters statement came out after the elevator incident? That was PR working at lightning speed. Second, you have the legal teams. Cease-and-desists, NDAs, settlement agreements. These are the tools used to literally, legally prevent people from speaking, and they're used all the time in the industry. Third, you have the business interests. Tours, endorsement deals, streaming contracts, brand partnerships. All of these are worth millions, sometimes billions. So when something threatens that money, everyone involved has an incentive to make it go away quietly. Now, fourth, and this is the darkest part, you allegedly have intimidation. Now, I'm not saying that's what the flowers were. I'm not saying anyone specific is doing this. But we know from industry whistleblowers over the years that people have been allegedly threatened, blacklisted, or worse for speaking out. So when we see these moments of tension become public, we're not just seeing individual beef, we're seeing cracks in a system that's designed to prevent us from seeing any of this. And that system, it's maintained by publicists, managers, label executives, lawyers, security teams, even media outlets that have financial relationships with these celebrities. It's deep, loves. It's way deeper than just, oh, they don't like each other.
All right, so let's connect all of these threads because we've covered a lot and I want to make sure the big picture is crystal clear. Thread 1, Beyoncé and Brandy, alleged backstage tension, possible old industry beef, Ray J trying to expose something before being cut off, Monica protecting something. Whatever's happening there has been brewing for a while and it's not resolved. Thread 2, the elevator incident. 11 years of silence broken by an eyewitness account that confirms what many suspected. This was about Jay-Z allegedly disrespecting Beyoncé and Solange defending her sister. It's about family loyalty, about boundaries, about what happens when those boundaries get crossed publicly. Thread 3, Diddy and 50 Cent. A documentary with allegedly explosive allegations, legal attempts to stop it, and alleged message sent through flowers. This is about someone trying to bring years of alleged secrets to light and the alleged resistance they're facing. Now, here's how they all connect. They're all about the same core issue. What happens when private realities threaten to become public knowledge? In every single one of these situations, there's something that allegedly happened behind the scenes, something that people involved wanted to stay behind the scenes, and now it's threatening to come out. And the response in every case has been some form of avoidance, silence, legal action, or alleged intimidation. That's not a coincidence, loves. That's a pattern. And here's the irony that I can't stop thinking about. All of these people, Beyoncé, Jay-Z, Diddy, Brandy, all of them, they've built their careers on authenticity, on keeping it real, on representing the culture, on being voices for the voiceless. But when it comes to their own private conflicts, their own alleged messiness, their own humanity, suddenly it's all about image control. It's all about handling things privately. It's all about keeping the public out. And listen, I'm not saying they don't have a right to privacy. They absolutely do. But there's something deeply uncomfortable about the gap between the image and the reality, between what's presented and what's allegedly true. Solange literally physically attacked someone, and it took 11 years for us to get real context about why. Beyoncé and Brandy can't even make eye contact backstage, and nobody will explain why. Diddy's allegedly trying to stop a documentary from exposing things, and the response is alleged legal threats and mysterious flowers? At some point, the question becomes, how long can you control the narrative before the truth just breaks through anyway? And I think what we're seeing right now with all of these situations coming to light simultaneously is that moment. The moment where the dam breaks, where the elevator doors open, where people finally start talking. Now, I've been reading industry blogs, following gossip accounts that have actually been right about stuff in the past, and checking in with people who claim to have insider knowledge. And here's what's allegedly being whispered in industry circles right now. On Beyoncé and Brandy, word on the street is that there was an incident years ago, some say around 2012, some say earlier, involving a collaboration that allegedly fell through, or a perceived slight at an award show, or something related to their respective teams. Nobody's confirming specifics, but multiple sources say there's been tension for over a decade. On the elevator incident, industry insiders have allegedly been saying for years that Rachel Roy was more involved in the Knowles-Carter family drama than was ever publicly admitted. And now with this designer coming forward, those whispers are being validated.
People are saying, we've known this. We just couldn't say it. On Diddy and 50 Cent. This one's the scariest because people in the industry are allegedly saying that 50's documentary has information that could be devastating, not just for Diddy, but for multiple people in positions of power. And allegedly, that's why there's such aggressive pushback. It's not just about protecting one person, it's about protecting an entire network. Now, again, these are rumors, allegedly, unconfirmed. But the fact that these whispers have been consistent for years, and now we're seeing public evidence that aligns with them, that's what makes this all feel so real.
And oh my God, can we talk about how social media has been losing its mind over all of this? Twitter literally couldn't handle the traffic when the Beyoncé Brandy clip first went viral. People were doing frame-by-frame analysis like they were FBI agents. I saw someone zoom in on Beyoncé's hand position and claim it was a defensive posture. Like, we are deep in the conspiracy theories, loves. TikTok has been even more unhinged. There are literally hour-long video essays connecting the Beyoncé Brandy thing to Becky with the good hair, to the elevator incident, to Lemonade, to Jay-Z's alleged affairs, to industry Illuminati theories. It's wild. And Instagram? Instagram is where the memes are happening. People are making fake flower delivery services called Diddy's Threats Are Us. There are memes of Beyoncé stepping aside with captions like, "When you see your enemy, but you're too famous to react." There are Solange memes with captions like, "When someone disrespects your sister and you've had enough." But underneath all the jokes and the memes, there's real concern. People are genuinely worried about 50 Cent's safety. People are genuinely confused about what happened between Beyoncé and Brandy. People genuinely want answers about the elevator incident that go beyond a 2-sentence PR statement from 2014. Social media is messy, but it's also where people are demanding accountability and transparency in ways that didn't exist even 10 years ago. So where does all of this go from here? Because right now, we're in this moment of maximum chaos, maximum speculation, maximum tension. But something's gotta give eventually. For Beyoncé and Brandy, either someone's going to release a statement clarifying what happened, which seems unlikely given both of their teams' track records, or this is just gonna fade into industry mystery territory, where we all know something happened, but never get confirmation. For the elevator incident, now that this designer has spoken out, it's possible more people who are at that party will feel emboldened to share what they saw. Or, more likely, there'll be a behind-the-scenes push to stop anyone else from talking. We'll see. For Diddy and 50 Cent, this is the big one. If that documentary actually comes out, and if it contains what people are saying it contains, this could be huge. Like career-altering huge, industry-shaking huge. But if it gets blocked legally, or if Netflix backs out, or if something else happens to prevent its release, that'll tell us everything we need to know about who really has power in this industry. And honestly, loves, I'm watching the Diddy 50 situation closely. Because if 50 Cent, who is not easily intimidated, is genuinely concerned about his safety, that's a red flag we can't ignore. So here's what it all comes down to. We are watching, in real time, the carefully constructed walls of celebrity image management start to crumble. Whether it's a 3-second backstage clip, an 11-year-old elevator video, or a bouquet of flowers at a Miami club, these are cracks in the facade. These are moments where the real humans, with real conflicts, real pain, real anger, real fear, show through the glossy surface. And maybe that's uncomfortable. Maybe it's messy. Maybe it's not the picture-perfect version of celebrity that we're sold through Instagram posts and red carpets, but it's real. And after decades of PR statements, image control, NDAs, and silence,
maybe it's time for things to be real. Maybe it's time for accountability. Maybe it's time for explanations. Maybe it's time for the truth, or at least as close to the truth as we're gonna get. Because at the end of the day, these stories matter. Not because we're nosy, though, okay, maybe a little. But because they reveal something about power, about loyalty, about protection, about what people will do to maintain their image and their empire. And right now, the empire is showing cracks. So yeah, loves, that's everything I've got for you today on this absolutely insane convergence of celebrity drama that I genuinely don't think we've seen anything like in years. We've got Beyoncé and Brandy allegedly avoiding each other backstage, with Ray J trying to spill tea before Monica shuts it down. We've got the Met Gala elevator incident, 11 years later, finally getting context from an actual eyewitness who confirms it was about Jay-Z allegedly disrespecting Beyoncé. And we've got Diddy and 50 Cent in what might be an actual war over a documentary that could expose decades of alleged industry secrets, complete with legal threats and alleged message flowers. It's all connected. It's all about power, control, silence, and what happens when that silence breaks. But here's what I want to know. What do you think about all of this? Do you think Beyoncé and Brandy have real beef? Or was that backstage moment overblown? Do you believe the designer's account of the elevator incident, or do you think they're just trying to get attention? And most importantly, are you worried about 50 Cent's safety, or do you think the flower thing was just trolling? Let me know in the comment section below. And I mean, really let me know, because this conversation is important. Tag someone who needs to see this. Share it to your story. Get people talking. If you made it this far, and we're at like 36 minutes, so thank you for sticking with me, leave a like on this video. Subscribe if you haven't already, because clearly we're covering the drama that matters. And hit that notification bell so you don't miss when more information inevitably drops about any of these situations. I appreciate every single one of you for being here, for engaging with this content, for caring about accountability and truth in the entertainment industry. Y'all are literally the reason I keep doing this. And just so you know, I'm already working on a follow-up video about some other industry dynamics that are allegedly about to explode, so stay tuned for that. It involves, well, I'll let you wait and see. But trust me, it's good. All right, loves, I'm gonna let you go. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.